Despite being Nigeria's smallest state in size, Lagos State has the largest number of ports in Nigeria, generating as much as 50% of the country's port revenue. With 20 industrial estates and 4 central business districts, it is no surprise the city has become a magnet for people from other states seeking a better standard of living. Welcome to Destination Lagos in Retrospect, where we bring you highlights of CNBC Africa's coverage of developments in Lagos State's economy in the past year. I'm Onyi Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. Urbanization is happening in Lagos State at an exponential rate. To ease the flow of people moving into the state, the Lagos State government embarked on the repair and rehabilitation of over 340 roads within its first 9 months in office. In its drive towards building a smart Lagos, Lagos is working on an intermodal system of transportation.
We came up with 7 rail lines. We have 14 BRT routes. We have 735 bus routes all over Lagos. We have water transport routes as well. The intention is to provide multimodal transport connection for the people of Lagos so that you can either travel by water and bus, or by water transport and rail, or by bus and rail, and just all form of connections to provide alternatives for people traveling. But for you to do that, you need to understand their needs, and that is what has been missing in the past, and that is what we have done.
Lagosians also anticipate the completion of the first phase of the Blue Line light rail transit system by the end of this year. Opportunities exist for investment in the development of the Red Line of the Lagos State Rail Project and others in the pipeline.
Investing in transport in Lagos, for me, is like a jackpot.
I tell you, what is to come is enough to accommodate investors, and they will have quick investment returns. Investors are also, also likely to benefit, if they so desire, from, construction of our jetties and terminals.
I think it's key to say that in addition to having the terminal and jetty infrastructure available for private investment, we're also very keen on bringing in private individuals who will come and actually operate vessels and ferries along our 30 identified commercial routes in Lagos.
At his inauguration as the 14th governor of Lagos State, Governor Akinwumi Ambode created the Office of Overseas Affairs and Investment, also known as Lagos Global.
The rationale for that was because of the felt need to ease how we do business in Lagos State.
The electrification project is a key part of the Lagos State government Light Up Lagos project. The government is on a mission to light up all major roads in the state, and the efforts made so far have improved security and encouraged night commerce.
So if Lagos it's well with Lagos, it's well with Nigeria invariably. So there is a conscious, deliberate strategy and effort to ensure that Lagos has electricity fairly quickly.
While it was known as one of the slave coasts in West Africa in the 1800s, Lagos today is known as Nigeria's economic pillar, accounting for 60% of industrial and commercial activities in Nigeria and generating 75% of its revenue. But really, what is it about Lagos?
Lagos State has that captivating and gravitational pull in terms of peace, economic prosperity, infrastructural development, and the geographical status of the states being an ocean-bound state.
From about a GDP of $136 billion now, we are looking that in the next couple of years, decade, we should be able to offshoot the $200 million mark.
The state might hit that mark in the near future. With a couple of projects underway in the state, the government aims to achieve two major goals: provide jobs for its increasing number of youths and boost the state's revenue. One of such projects is the Lekki Free Trade Zone. The Lekki Free Zone will have 4 areas covering 16,347 hectares of land designed to produce non-oil exports.
Is an economic concept, that comes with boundless opportunities to both local and foreign investors. It is to propel growth within, most especially within those sectors those areas where they're established, and ensure that local and foreign industrialists, who are manufacturers, do their businesses with little or no bureaucratic controls.
According to the design, when it is built, it will have about 120,000 people permanently living here. And also will employ more than 30,000 people working here for the investors.
The area also hosts the Dangote refinery that will accommodate a petrochemical plant, fertilizer, and gas plant. The refinery is designed to be the largest single-streamed refinery in the world. Recognizing the importance of MSMEs, the state government, through the State Employment Trust Fund, has in the last 1 year approved and disbursed a 4.5 billion naira intervention fund to 5,527 medium-small manufacturing enterprises. To further promote commerce and industry, the state organizes exclusive fairs to showcase businesses in the state.
They are basically MSME, basically made in Lagos products, and 100%, locally domestic products, are the ones we encourage to be brought for that, fair.
It's a very vibrant city. It's a city on the move. It's a very dynamic city, and it's a city that is powered by a lot of enterprises and entrepreneurs. At least no smart person can be in Lagos and lack anything because there are enormous opportunities.
Access to land is another matter. The government is addressing this through its automated land administration system.
It gives us a very good idea of how big Lagos is, and then how each plot of land actually fits into the overall picture. So if you combine both programs, what you then have is a synergistic impact, which gives Lagos State the opportunity to know exactly how to apportion the land that it has, as well as how to then make it easy for citizens to apply for land.
In the midst of its prosperity, Lagos is highly dependent on other states in Nigeria for food security. The reverse, however, was the case in the past. Lagos was a major channel for the export of agricultural produce. In recent times, it has become a major channel for the import of basic food items.
At independence in Nigeria, agriculture was the foundation. And there were 3 regions in the country. The North was the biggest exporter of groundnut at the time and cotton. The East was the biggest exporter of palm oil. Nigeria, through the West, was the biggest exporter of cocoa. That was how the foundation of Nigeria's economy was being built.
We're told that our naira was stronger. Yeah, $1 to $2. Now, if you now consider the fact that just 2 sections of agro-value chain give you such huge GDP and solid economy, then you should say agriculture was good for us because we are good managers. But when wrong managers came in, and coincidentally oil came in too, and so the madness came in.
Our farmers in Lagos produce only 15% of our food needs in Lagos. So meaning that the remaining 85 comes from elsewhere through the north, east, and through importation. So as a serious government, we must do something to bring on board food sufficiency to the populace of Lagos.
Top on the list is meeting the demand for rice, a major staple food across Nigeria. The country consumes 2 million metric tons of rice annually, most of it in Lagos. Realizing its limitation in land mass for cultivation, Lagos is collaborating with other states to boost its rice production and other agriculture produce. Kebbi State is a major partner.
It's a partnership that recognizes the agricultural value chain. It's not a partnership that is saying Kebbi farmers should produce, Lagos farmers should consume. No, it's for public sectors in both states and supported by the government to realize that I can do this in Kebbi, let's go and do it, let's go and fix it. We can do this in Lagos. For example, we are putting up a rice mill in Lagos, bringing some of the paddy from Kebbi. Ordinarily, one would have thought the logical thing will be, since paddy is produced in Lagos, let us process, in Kebbi, let us process in Kebbi. No, but that's not. We believe that the opportunity, so by putting the mill in Lagos, market women who distribute rice will be able to participate in the process. There will be storage in Lagos, there will be rice available in Lagos 24/7 under the partnership.
The K2 Mile 12 market is the biggest open market in Africa. Situated on 18 hectares of land, it is poorly run. Without a storage facility, food deteriorates faster after its arrival at the market. Sticking to the open market structure across Nigeria, the Lagos State government has created a prototype that will address shortfalls in major markets like this. Known as the Eco Farmers Market, it provides an opportunity for farmers to bring their produce straight from the farms to the markets and provides dry and wet storage facilities for food items sold in the markets.
The Lagos State government is actually saying that they have done this prototype. Come and look at it. You can even improve on it. Come up with proposal in various parts of Lagos. In fact, there are only 3 now. Lagos will need at least 40 of these.
An investment opportunity, the Eco Farmers Market is to be replicated across local government areas in Lagos State to help decentralize the K2 Mile 12 food market. Destination Lagos continues after the break. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Destination Lagos in retrospect. It is no longer news that Lagos State, Nigeria's largest economy, plans to move up its ranking as the 5th largest economy in Africa. It is also not news that the state government plans to create a vibrant economy supported by quality service. All this, however, will remain a plan if the foundation is weak. The foundation here being education.
Lagos is it's a youthful population. 65% of our population is young. And it's critical that we come with a model that ensures that everybody has a skill.
Educational institutions in Lagos State are also aligning with this vision. Security is top on the list for the Lagos State government. And at a recent convocation ceremony at the Lagos State Polytechnic, the government discovered an economically viable solution to enhance security with the use of drone technology.
The governor, through this secretary to the state government, made a pronouncement that the government is ready for these institutions to come up with the production of drones, because
It will be used for aerial surveillance.
With our program, we want to have local content. When we build for ourselves, we create jobs for our youths. And that's what we're trying to achieve here.
The drone project is a collaboration between the State Polytechnic and the International College of Aeronautics.
We have the Lagos Smart City project. Now, the Smart City project has a component that speaks to security in the state, because the security of lives and property is paramount to this administration. And we also believe that in a safe environment, this can propel economic activities in the state. We're talking of Lagos as being a mega city. You know, mega cities are 24-hour economies, and we want to drive that through the application of technology to enhance security in the state. So the Lagos Smart City project component that speaks to security is the deployment of CCTV cameras across the state. In total, we're looking at 13,000 CCTV cameras.
The State's Command and Control Center was set up for this purpose. With all closed-circuit cameras on the streets of Lagos connected to this control room, the state is able to monitor activities on its streets.
Where we're standing right now is a unit of the Command and Control Center. So this is the face of the emergency management services. All calls through the short code 11277 terminate in here. As you can see, the agents pick calls, either fire, robbery, accident, riot, just name it. When you dial 77 across all networks, it gets in here. Our agent here pick the call, fill in our software, Microsoft CRM Dynamics, and when they close it, it is also connected to all other respondent agencies. So when they select the right agency, it goes directly to them. They can dispatch response to the scene of emergency.
Poised to explore this world of opportunities, the Lagos state government set out to establish 350 coding centers across the state from April 2017 and 500 centers by the end of 2017. This is part of their mandate to educate and create wealth and employment.
And by the time the children are writing their programs, where they're able to code, a lot of children will be able to write their own apps. They'll be able to write their own games. They become great entrepreneurs. I cannot actually wait for coding to start, because to me, it's a brilliant resource that is going to help us with creativity.
We want to set up coding centers all across Lagos State. Do we have the money as government to do it all by ourselves? No. The governor has been very supportive. He's approved the figure for us in our budget to run Code Lagos. But we've also reached out aggressively to the private sector. So we have a number of private sector partners that are partnering with us. So ARM is one of our major partners. Etisalat is one of our major partners. System Specs is one of our major partners. PricewaterhouseCoopers is one of our major partners. You know, we have organizations that have said, you know what, we believe in Code Lagos.
With 22 million people living in the city and millions of commuters from neighboring states and countries passing through, the Lagos state government has identified tourism as a potential major revenue earner.
Everything these days in Nigeria is being done despite economic hardship. And culture is not a poor relation. It's not a poor relation. On the other hand, culture is a revenue-generating relation. And Lagos is in a very unique position to attract tourists to this place.
What is tourism if you do not have content? We know for a fact that Lagos is the birthplace, is the home of Nollywood. We know for a fact that Lagos is the home of hip-hop, or if you like, hip music in Nigeria, which of course is the biggest in Africa, if not in the entire black world. And therefore what the administration of Governor Akinwumi Ambode is trying to do is to create an enabling environment for activities to thrive.
Badagry is a thriving tourist site for Africans in diaspora, with ancient landmarks along slave routes and key attractions such as the first story building in Nigeria. While the government has made strides in conserving historical landmarks, investment opportunities exist in the development of the untapped lagoon fronts and beaches of Badagry.
Badagry itself, if you look at it,
lends itself to tourism a lot, just sheer beauty. I mean, I've not seen anywhere else as beautiful as this. And when people come here from abroad, foreigners, when they come here, it's always the best place they've been.
Eco Atlantic Marina is expected to become a regional tourism and entertainment attraction with alfresco bars, world-class restaurants and enticing boutiques. A few minutes away from Eco Atlantic stands Eco Hotel and Suites, a 5-star hotel on Victoria Island, the highbrow business and residential district of Lagos. The hotel has the largest convention center in Nigeria, a popular destination for concerts, movie premieres, exhibitions, and weddings. The arts and culture scene in Lagos is one that captivates tourists from all over the world. A major player in the promotion of arts and culture is the Nike Art Gallery. Through her extensive art collection, founder Nike Davies celebrates the creativity of African art.
I opened my first gallery in 1968 in Osogbo, which is my headquarters. And when I moved to Lagos, Lagos is the city of excellence. More and more people who cannot come to Osogbo, they visit this workshop and they visit the gallery. And it's now become a place where when you have guests, where to showcase this creativity and the handwork of Nigerian artists. And their voice is their work.
Nike's Gallery, the largest in West Africa, is a well-known tourist destination in Lagos. May the 27th, 2017 marked 50 years of its creation, following Nigeria's restructuring into a federation of 12 states in 1967. For a state known for its glitz and glamour, it's no surprise celebrations kicked off with a lineup of events from the state's entertainment industry.
Government came out from the first day to support the creative industry, the art industry. And in supporting that, how best to showcase that than to say, look, we want to celebrate 50 years of Lagos State. And we are going to start, not with what you have said, but with a performance, a world-class performance.
And so it began, 50 days of celebration, starting with a performance of Waka the Musical, an educative and family-oriented musical extravaganza of drama, comedy, live music, and dance. Towards a smart city, preparing for the next 50 years of prosperity, that was the theme of the international conference organized to round up celebrations. With a gathering of diverse groups of academics, private sector operators, and government, the stage was set for a high-level discussion on the state's future.
The conference is part of Lagos at 50 celebration. We dub it International Conference with a theme towards a smart city. The theme is because Lagos is already a mega city. That is by virtue of its number. But we also think that we should be thinking about making Lagos a smart city. Why mega city simply means you've crossed the threshold of a certain number. Being a smart city means you do things in a smart way, using technologies, innovations, and so on and so forth. That is the whole essence of the conference, to see how we can use technology, innovation to drive Lagos for the next 50 years. That is why we say towards the next 50 years of prosperity.
As participants geared to focus discussions around making Lagos the technology frontier of Africa, unlocking the potentials within the creative and sport industries, and the rule of law in the ease of doing business, the host of the conference and governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, put things in better perspective.
We have had a year-long celebration of the establishment of our dear state, Lagos, with the core theme, our success story. The activities are being rounded up this week with a deep reflection on what the next 50 years should be. This is the whole essence of this gathering. There is no better group of people in this state than this distinguished audience that can chart the path for us. So I want to thank you for honoring our invitations and urge you also to be very frank in your deliberations.
And frank statements he got as the sessions kicked off.
What does a smart 21st century city mean? Smart does not mean elite. Smart means a city that works for everybody in it. A city that works means that ordinary people can become productive and so earn a decent living. And it means that where people live is a livable, decent environment. And so the city is productive and it's livable, not just for a narrow elite, but for everybody.
Three things are necessary. To begin with, density. There's a nexus between density and connectivity. And that, therefore, means transport becomes very necessary and power becomes also an imperative. And so what next steps? It's to ensure, at the very least, legal and secure ownership of land, because that provides a stimulus to investment. Secondly, that there has to be some flexibility in land use, because as cities evolve, the use to which land is put must also evolve.
Most of the ideas mentioned by speakers are already in motion in Lagos State, as it intensifies efforts to build a skilled workforce that will thrive in its future economy. And that's it on this episode of Destination Lagos. I'm Onyi Sunday. Thank you so much for watching.